So EC3 had mentioned the ROH bubble. ROH was very responsible with their talent. I was setting up interviews and I was told, well, they're in the bubble. And actually, when I talked to Josh Woods, he couldn't do video because the Wi-Fi was so bad there. So you're in a bubble. Wi-Fi's bad. Can't do a lot. What do you do? Obviously, you get up and go to the gym.
Right. Um, you got the gym, you got anything that you can do in your room. You know what I mean? Like my Wi-Fi was fine. When they're talking about doing different types of things, I guess it affects people differently depending on where you are. But you watch a lot of TV, you play some games, you work out in your room or in the gym if you can, and just gonna go through it, man. Just gonna get through it.
So, I mean, they do that, which I was so happy to hear. Like, normally I'd be like, oh, bummer, I can't get video. But then I hear, okay, they're in a bubble. I'm like, great, because if you guys aren't healthy, we don't have anybody to cover. We don't have
Right.
anybody to talk about in wrestling. So I was very happy to see how responsible ROH was. Beyond that, I heard rave reviews from Ring of Honor talent about how they were treated during this pandemic and how they were taken care of during this pandemic. I had people that weren't even under contract that were booked for shows, and they said, yeah, Ring of Honor paid me for that show I didn't even do. What does that say to you that a company that you have been at odds with sometimes
Right.
was willing to take care of people?
I mean, in despite being at odds or not, I think you still have to give credit where it's due. And they've done a tremendous job of taking care of their talent, paying them, making sure that no layoffs happened. You know, if things, because all of this was outside of the talent's control, right?
Yeah.
If it was up to the talent, they would be there doing shows. They would have made every date. They would have done everything that they were supposed to do. So it wouldn't really be fair to take it out on talent for something that's out of their hands, right? So to be able to acknowledge that and to take care of that talent says a lot about where Ring of Honor is, where they're going, and the mindset that they have in taking care of their talent.
Did you attend the meeting? I want to say it was maybe a year ago. I've talked to a lot of wrestlers about it, where Ring of Honor flew in a whole lot of people, like almost all the roster, and said, tell us what you want. Tell us what you want to see changed. Tell us what you want to see adjusted. I think it was at the headquarters. But I've heard they've implemented a lot of these things.
Yeah, I mean, and that goes to show you, once again, this is why so many people, again, I'll give credit where it's due. This is why so many people that are in Ring of Honor like that environment as opposed to being in other places, because it's not just some ruling body over you. You get to have input as to the direction of where everything is going. And that says a lot about leadership at the top to be able to take those suggestions, implement what you can, and find avenues to continue to strive to push the envelope forward and grow and grow the product.
Was there anything specific that you wanted to see changed or wanted to see adjusted? I know that some people I talked to said maybe change some of the colors around ringside because everything was the same color. Some people said, oh, maybe new camera angles, and they've implemented some of those.
Yeah, I've had some suggestions, none of which I'll share publicly.
Sure.
That's between me and leadership at the top. There's some things that I've talked to them about recently, you know what I mean, that I'll also just keep close to the vest. But to be able to see the things that they have changed so far is great. And I'm sure they're continuing to work on those things going forward. So we'll just continue to see what happens.